Hello, and oh gosh, welcome to another stream. I'm looking at my audio input capture dial, and it's saying that the volume coming through, so hopefully I can be heard. Um, yeah, I wanted to now. What oh, hello. What does MCSV mean? I'm baffled. I'm absolutely baffled. MCSV retro. Yes, yes. Yes, we've gone very retro with the OBS filters and the various photo mosh things that have been. Oh, and look, chat appears up on the screen as well, but of course it colour bleeds, so that's something I have to take care of. Um, yeah, I wanted to go live again and just have a bit of a chat because I'm going out to the pub tomorrow night. Views confused views. Oh, of course, it's my logo. Oh God. Yeah, I'm going out tomorrow night, and there's a real chance that I'll come back home steaming drunk and decide to live stream then. So I wanted to put something of vague quality up before the chance that I do another sort of thing like streaming upside down or something because I can't figure out how to set up my camera. And also, I've been getting really, really annoyed, fed up. I'm supposed to avoid first 5 minutes. I'm supposed to avoid uh, expletives. So I'm trying to do that. Annoyed and tired and emotional, whatever, about the general political climate. Oh, you're going to Budapest tomorrow afternoon? That sounds exciting. I'm going. Yeah, I'm from about 5 miles to Preston, which is where I'm moving to actually in about a month. We're finally having a great exodus of the tribe after living in the sticks outside the city for 20 years. We're actually moving into the city. But Budapest sounds a lot more exciting than Preston. Um, yeah, sorry, I've lost my general. Yeah, so there's been a lot of really. So I'm sort of spend a lot of my life watching YouTube videos, and occasionally, you know, when I sort of start looking at topics that relate to the real world and not things like wheel sightings and obscure um, VST synthesizer plugins. Oh, all weekend in Budapest. Wow. Yeah, and I've been noticing how much partisan uh, political. Sorry, still getting used to the dentures, but yeah, getting there. How much partisan political commentary there's been. I've, uh, for some reason, because I exist in the sort of like political centre ground, I get, rather than sort of like other centrist commentators like me, I get the slew of content from the left and the right of me, and it just well, it was what surprised me is how one event that's happened, which was this Alaska conference with Trump and Putin, can generate such radically different interpretations across the board. There's one set of commentaries that are singing Trump's praises. He's done amazing things. He's doing all this. He's got the president of Russia to come and land on American soil, and another set of commentators who said, "Oh, he's completely capitulated in that." And it was winding me up. I mean, normally I wouldn't involve myself in politics that goes on outside the UK. I try not to do, but of course, our big boss man was over there, so kind of couldn't really avoid it. Could only sort of hide myself away on the various sort of uh, Pornhub and its related sort of like copy sites for so long before I had to had to sort of like broach the topic of the real world. And it's something that is quite alien to um, to me as someone from Britain, because we do have like you know, extreme political extremes, and we do have quite vocal left wing commentators and quite vocal right wing commentators. But they all agree that Keir Starmer is an absolute arsehole. They get they attack him for different reasons, but there's no great sort of like cult of adoration or uh, demonization for him. I mean, there's a few shills that pop up every so often on Twitter, and then they get shouted down by like the mob of the entire from across the entire spectrum. But yeah, it's been really getting me, uh, you know, quite furious. I mean, how are people right? How are people supposed to make a decision about what's going on in the world, and when you can have two credible commentators come up with completely different accounts of an event? How can the average person have any faith in the actual reality of the living in? I mean, it's an absolute mystery. Um, and you know, perhaps it's a culture of the information age, but I remember, while there would be differences of interpretation of motives or things like that, there was never sort of like when I was younger, so this idea that truth was so subjective. I mean, we had uh, views on the fringes that uh, were counter to the main narrative, the mainstream narrative, but they were fringe views. There doesn't seem to be fringe views anymore. There seem to be like, well, the fringe views are the majority of the views, and there's a fleet. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I will get used to this. I promise. There will be a thin conciliatory. I'm going to stop saying words like that as well because they're not danger words. Thin conciliatory wedge in the middle, and it just gets narrowing day by day. So yeah, right. I think I've talked for 5 minutes, so I can say that partisan shit has been really getting on my nerves, and it seems to be. I don't know if it's getting more pronounced at the moment, uh, but it does seem that everyone, even people who were trying to like uh, uh, you know, avoid sort of like getting involved in this, are getting involved in it, and it's just madness. It's maddening. Um, Another thing that sort of like brought this home is I quite enjoy for my sins watching the Kino Casino clips because I'm an armchair sort of Ethan Ralph airlog. Um, uh, was more active in airlogging in the past, but now I just like to sit back and watch his various failures. But anyway, uh, watching Kino Casino, they were talking about iDubbbz, and that was a annoyance from start to finish because you've got iDubbbz who is now born again progressive, uh, just making all progressive ideas look like idiocy. Which is someone who's got a lot of sympathy for, sympathy for a lot of progressive ideas, banging your head against the screen saying, "Do not shut up, do not say this, shut up, do not talk." Go back to unboxing things and reviewing Kickstarter and Indiegogo and you know dropping N bombs and F bombs and things like that. Don't be trying to get yourself involved in politics because you just make it look ridiculous. And then PPP commenting on it rather than just having a laugh at it starts spewing sort of like conspiracy theories, like about I think that was carrying on from the the other thing, which was I'll get into in a second. But yeah, just spewing stuff about COVID and things like that. And I was, God, I just came here for a laugh. I don't want to be bombarded with like sort of just political agitation for the sake of it. Um, but yeah, anyway, there was another thing on Kino Casino that I was quite quite taken with because there's another person I enjoy laughing at. Well, it's actually three people I involved enjoy laughing at have gone to war with each other, which is like Nick Swanters, uh, Candice Owens, and Milo. God, I'm going to kill this now. Yiannopoulos. God, I'm quite surprised. Milo Yiannopoulos wasn't quite as much of a mouthful as I thought he'd be. Anyway, yes. Um, yeah, so apparently Candice Owens and Milo have attacked Nick Fuentes and saying he's not a real America First nationalist, whatever. He's uh, an FBI plant, which he might be. I don't know. But the point is, you know, they're all grifters. Candice Owens is a grifter. She started off on the side way to the left of me. She was like part of. She wanted to be the next Anita Sarkeesian. I can't remember what it was called, but like a "Don't Bully Me," whatever. And she was kind of sort of like set up a grift for. And suddenly, when that didn't work, she decided to slide onto the right. And Milo is just yeah. People forget that Milo got himself cancelled. Oh, and I dropped my dropped my notepad here. Milo got himself cancelled because he basically on an interview was talking about the oh God, what was his name? The Brian Singer, the Open Secret documentary, the Brian Singer Hollywood, you know, underage sex parties, and he basically said like, yeah, when I was younger was sort of like interfered with by someone like that, and I know all about the gossip that's going on there, and it didn't do me any harm. And that's just when his star was sort of like ascendant, just when he was sort of like starting to hang around with Trump and Kanye and all that. And wham, did he crash down? I don't know what he's done now. He's taken the cure, I suppose, and well, I suppose I think, and he's now supposedly heterosexual, even though he's still sort of like apparently living with his boyfriend and stuff. Or whether it's all ironic, I don't know. But yeah, so like he's another sort of grifter. He latched onto Gamergate and basically rode that to to a level of level of celebrity before he tanked it all. So what basically you've got is like one grifter who's possibly aligned with the aligned with the government to discredit the movement, being attacked by two grifters who have done so much to discredit whatever movement they're attached to. I mean, Candice Owens now. I mean, she's basically not like all that like space isn't real and the Jews invented dinosaurs. I mean, if someone was a bloody a plant designed to discredit whatever movement you were attached to, it would be her. So I just don't understand why, like just because they're attacking Nick Fuentes, it doesn't make them heroes. It makes it a three-way slap fight between some deeply suspicious and non-credible but largely amusing people. You know, like when I said largely amusing, I mean in the uh, in the lolcow sense, not in the sense that I actually am amused by their attempts at amusing me. Although, who knows? Um, No, who knows? I know I'm not. I don't know myself. Who knows? But I'm not. But yeah, so there was again there was like the commentary from the Kino Casino was like kind of throwing themselves in with the Candice Owens and Milo, and like, oh, it's gonna be great seeing them bashing it Fuentes. Well, they're not heroes. I don't know why you're buying into this idea that the great heroes for your movement, because they're not. I mean, it's easy for me to say this because I'm not part of that movement. I'm not an American. But then again, was it Nick Fuentes is Mexican ancestry. Milo Yiannopoulos is uh, British. PPP and Andy Westgate are Canadian. So the only American involved in this entire America First slap fight is Candice Owens, who, for most of the people who subscribe, well, not most, for a sizable majority of the people, sizable number of the people who subscribe to the hard nationalism, her ethnicity means that she's not really counted as an American, and she should, according to them, go back to where she came from. Mind-boggling. But yeah, so this is that you've got like this shite going on the right. You've got iDubbbz talking absolute nonsense points on the left. You've got channels like, and also on the left, you've got channels like Midas, whatever it's called. Oh, I don't know. It's some mainstream news outlet trying to masquerade as citizen journalism. And oh god, it's the worst clickbait ever. It's just like, oh, Trump, he's confessed to being a serial killer. Red letters on the thumbnail, and it's like every single time. So, like, oh, well, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be some news, and it's like, oh, blah 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 blah. Oh, and if you really want to support us in the war against the new fascism, buy our coffee, buy our t-shirts, buy our. No, thank you. You know, I'm I mean, at least you know the British political extremes are less about grifting and more about I don't know playing up to class stereotypes. Having watched a few of the live streams from the protesters hanging around outside hotels where migrants are being housed, oh God, it's like watching. It's like somebody has written a bad sitcom about class and political divides in the UK. You've got one set of right on students, um, sort of like banging drums and chanting and waving Palestinian flags on one side outside the hotel, and on the other side you've got uh, sort of lager swilling football hooligans jeering, and then in the middle there's the poor. I can't believe I said there's the poor coppers who are just you know want to be not doing the job and not there. But oh god, it's idiocy at every single bloody level. There was like one of the ones that I was watching. They were one of the counter protesters, so the defenders of the hotel, um, and sort of like defend the migrants, was uh, had a beatbox. God almighty, how old am I? Had like a large stereo thing, and he was playing like various songs and like waving it. And then the bloody Beatles Get Back came on, so he's waving this outside the hotel for migrants. Get back, get back, get back to where you was it once came from. Fuck's sake. So like with friends like that, you don't need enemies. But with the enemies thing, I mean, on the other side half the commentators are ex-cons who have gone, there's the whole ex-con on YouTube thing. So they do it. I did sort of like 15 years for armed robbery, and now I'm coming out and I've told my probation officer that I'm doing a YouTube channel to keep kids out of prison. But all I'm doing is getting on the YouTube and telling everyone about all the exciting things that happened in prison, or giving them all the gossip about who's getting beaten up and stabbed, which nonce is getting a pan full of sugar water chucked in his face this week. You know, and entertaining as that is, I mean, I don't want to sound like a complete hypocrite here because I do watch that, like the weekly sugar water report, which is very informative. So yeah, that's absolute, you know, but they don't seem to be grifting as much. Well, I don't suppose they're grifting because I mean, they're both paid. See, I'm sounding like a conspiracy theory person here, but I do have some backup to this. I mean, a lot of the right wing uh, side, uh, that side, gets money from places like the Heritage Foundation, which is funding them, and the left wing side. I notice there's lots and lots of socialist worker party posters, and they're a great receiver of Iranian and sometimes Russian money. Um, I can't believe that the Socialist Worker Party still attracts so many people. Uh, and it's an absolute hellish organisation. They had and this is another thing that really gets on my nerves. So they were there, like behind the police cordon, you know, like you know, like basically calling on the police to keep the protesters away from them, which is fine. That's what the police, you should be doing with the police. If you're having a sort of civilized protest, you should like police in the middle, one side on one side, other side on the other side, and you know respect them and this and the other. But when there was a big rape scandal in the Socialist Worker Party, which is going back about 10 years now, they basically pressured everyone not to go to the police because you don't want to be an accomplice to the man. We'll sort it out on our own way, which basically meant letting them off and just like not dealing with it. So yeah, yeah, that. Oh, and also about, and I can never remember the name of the bloke who wrote the book. But the one of the sort of core pivotal texts of the Socialist Worker Party is this book called A Road to Socialism, which I will, in the comments when I look up afterwards, I will find out who wrote it. And one of the core tenets is that, like, we'll have no unemployment because if you refuse to work in your state assigned job after the revolution, you will be shot. Well, I'm sorry, that don't sound like that does not sound like any of this, like the socialist ideas I'm sympathetic to, like universal healthcare or you know, cheap affordable housing. That's where as close as I get to socialism. I've done that. Oh yeah, right. Not quite political. So this is the last of my sort of like pissed off and annoyed rants. Which I seem to be getting through at a fair rate of notes actually, so it's not going to be that long a stream. Let's just have a look, see through my notes. See, I actually do have notes that um, I've written down. See if there's anything I've missed that I can cut it out with. Um, these are the notes for last stream, and I've written a very congratulatory note that I've done it. And then in my stream planning book, it says phone the doctors. Yes, I did that. Empty the wardrobes. Yeah, did that. Emptied all the wardrobes in the last few days, and furniture polished them so we can sell them. Because I've been left in charge of the house because Mrs. Plastique has taken herself and one of her friends down to the down up. Let's get the orientation of the planet right up to the Edinburgh Festival. So I've been left in charge of the house and doing the moving jobs. Anyway, so yeah, no, that's it. That's all my notes. So right, on to the next one. No, bloody hell. Uh, yeah. So I've been trying to take this streaming thing a bit more seriously, and I've lost a viewer there by going into that rant. Dear me, not doing too well with that. So yeah, trying to take it a bit more seriously, but obviously, I'm a bit incompetent, so I don't manage it that often. So not this, yeah, no, a week before, so Sunday, just gone, I did a live stream. Now that live stream was going to be a live stream and some beer reviews, but one thing led to another, and I drank all the beers and more before I started streaming, and ended up streaming side on. Got the camera because I was using my phone. I was trying to be smart. Like, oh, I'll see if I can stream from the phone, and it all messed up badly. But at the same time, I've been trying to network and join other Discord servers, and I ended up joining Gilded Poo's Discord server because I think I'll like his content. I think he's very entertaining, and so I took a couple of quid his way on on Patreon and got him back to the service. So I went in, and I was just trying to be sociable and that, but I was very drunk and not an arsehole. And someone sort of like I know who you are, and posted like my YouTube channel page and quite mockingly like, I'm just like you know what's kind of for mocking that? Yeah, all the thumbnail photos of my face. Like, yeah, I'm aware. I'm overweight, got no teeth, but now I've got dentures and I'm going on Ozempic. So what's the problem? And 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 then afterwards I was thinking like, well, I'm not bothered about my YouTube thing, but I think there's probably a few things up there on the old internet that I'd rather not all sort of like tied together and connected back up to me and all that. So I've been on a sort of like sorting and deletion thing in the last week or so, sort of like an OPSEC thing, trying to divide stuff and trying to sort of like only present an acceptable level of decadence and perversity to the internet, with no specifics or anything like that. And doing that, but I was thinking, isn't it shit that you have to do that? You have to. You think if you're starting streaming on YouTube, not because you're going to want to be a massive celebrity, just because it's like a bit of a hobby, and your ultimate aim is to be able to sort of like maybe get a bit of pin money here and there. Like it's like a paper round income you practically get. Like, oh, here's a couple of quid, buy yourself a pint. But, right, so if you're aiming to do that, which is for me obviously a long way off, not getting a pint, that's about 24 hours off, but like having someone else pay for it, well, maybe it's someone else to pay for it tomorrow night, or pay for something anyway, who knows. But that's the point. Even if you want to do that, you've got to bloody defend your security because you think someone's going to try and find, all that sort of like erotic fan fiction you wrote and have got up on some website. Not that I'm saying I've got stuff like that. All my erotic fiction was, well, no, not all of it, but I did put out my erotic comic book, The Eunuch Heresies, which I should link on this channel again because it's still available through Lulu. And so, yeah, it's still available. So, I'm not so bothered about that, but there's, like, you know, kind of involved in some communities, like progressive communities, like in terms of gender and LGBT rights and things like that. And I thought I wouldn't really like someone necessarily uh, following me back to one of those and causing a lot, not because of problems for me, but like for problems for the people, because it would be really, you know, nasty if just because I talk shit on the internet, if it followed me back to So some of the places I'm better behaved. So I've been trying to put up like walled gardens and be more, uh, you know, more of a sort of well planned internet presence, which is kind of boring, really. You know, not something that I really, uh, really am that keen on doing, but you have to. Well, that was it. It's a half an hour stream, uh, just a quick one, as the actress said to the bishop. Uh, so, oh God, oh, ugly dad jokes, yeah. Right. I don't know if anyone else who ever watches, if anyone else ever watches this, but you know, uh, is a parent, and you know, a bloke and a parent because something happens to your brain. I just come up with all the old shit jokes all the time. It's like my real sort of like sense of your own wit sort of like atrophied away after parenthood, and I just became capable of sort of like bad puns and sort of double entendres. Anyway, I think I've witted enough now. I shall repeat the intro stream because I haven't done the outro yet. I know I promised you last time I talked I'll do my outro, but I haven't. I'll get my homework. So thank you for watching. It's been. I do feel a lot better actually. I feel a lot better now. I've got all that on my system. Um, you know, I have been a bit infuriated by the entire thing, but but I've done it. Yes, I have. I've got it out of my system. So thank you. And God, I've been trying to avoid because I cannot. Please type in chat how to say your name again because I am just absolutely struggling, and especially with my new teeth. They're just looking at those letters and I'm thinking that is going to spit. That's going to cause these teeth to spit right out. But wait, I know the list is going. Um, I've I've started using Hiroji, 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 Hiroji. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the other thing as well. Chat is really, really small because I'm just doing this on a laptop. Hiroji. Is that right? Hiroji, Hiroji, Hiroji. You have to correct me if I'm wrong in Discord, but I wrote. Well, thank you so much for watching me just rant. Yes, the lisp is going a bit because I've started using denture fixing stuff to hold them in place. But I'm still only using the bottom set because in a couple of weeks they're going to take care of all the gammy teeth on the top set. So then I'll have to relearn again because I'll be dual wielding dentures. Anyway, thank you for watching. Take care and see you again soon. Bye bye. Roll it. Roll it. Roll it. Roll it.